So today we're going to find out whether Omen is good on Breeze, because I was thinking about Breeze and how with the Jet nerf, maybe Jet won't be seen on Breeze as much. And I was thinking of agents to replace Jet with on this map, and Omen completely passed my mind. But NRG played Omen on Breeze in replacement of Jet and found some great success with it. So we're going to take a look at NRG versus TSM. And for you TSM fans out there as well, I will say that overall, I thought TSM played pretty well on this map as well. It was a very close game, 13-11. And so I thought this was a pretty well played map on the whole by both sides, and there's some hope if you are a fan of either of these teams. But let's get into it, and we'll start on the defensive side for NRG. And our Omen, who is Som, is playing here towards the B site. And what's going to happen here is we're going to get an A push from TSM. But if we just watch this round, what's going to happen is this guy's going to dog to start out. She's going to dog, and I assume sees this trap and kind of calls out that there is a chamber trap there. And so let's watch some. As the hit is coming onto A, NRG are going to play pretty passively. But right there, you see that the Omen teleports into here, completely bypasses this trap, right? And so the chamber is completely unaware. And whilst that's going on, we also get this push down mid from the defensive side chamber as well. Thing is, Som starts running at this moment, right? He starts running here. And the chamber, I'm sure, hears that, and you'll just see he just turns at exactly the wrong moment, because then Tex is able to just take him out as he swings this corner. So they get that first kill from the Omen just coming around here, and as we run this forward some more, they're going to find a kill on site here for TSM. So we end up in a 4v4 with the site lost, with a Viper's Pit down. You know, I mean, it's winnable, but it's obviously not an ideal situation that they have a Viper's Pit. But obviously, in come NRG, they start clearing to make sure no one's lurking on them. They put down this Omen smoke now as well. And they're going to start, to try on this retake. We get some fade utility in there. And so, yeah, we're going to start with this retake. And it starts with a Sky Flash and an Omen Flash coming in right there towards the site. But now we're going to get a Sova ult coming in down towards the Ultim Cave as well from this Sova. And whilst that is going on, we need to take a look at our Omen, because he is going to teleport on top of the pyramid, and because the Sova ult is going on, I'm assuming that people don't really hear that. I've talked about this before, that the Sova ult is very noisy, very loud, and it grabs people's attention. So they probably aren't fully aware of what's going on. So Som, you can see, is just on the top of this pyramid. He finds a kill, and then they start cleaning up with the rest as well. They get hit by the Sova ult again, and they start defusing the spike. And I think Sabrosa is a bit caught off by the fact that they've already stuck the defuse, and they managed to win the round. So we see some instant impact there from the Omen and being able to bypass that chamber trap and then teleporting on top of the pyramid as well. Really little fun play from Som there, and they were rewarded for it. And now let's come to round number 12, and in this round what we have from TSM is they are going to do a little B split here. The majority of them are actually going to walk up towards elbow, but they're going to send in a little Sova drone towards B, and a Prowler as well is going to come towards this B site, and they're going to do a little B execute. So let's take a look at how that goes for them. So in comes the Sova drone, obviously NRG hide from it, in comes the Prowler, but you can see they actually walk up towards elbow instead. And they do manage to progress all the way through elbow, manage to get through nest as well, and come towards the site. And what's going to happen is Ethan's going to be able to find the first, but then get traded out by Sabrosa there. So we end up in this position here, right? And Tex is able to get one, and then he teleports right on top of the Fade Haunt here. So he's revealed by the Fade Haunt, but whilst that is going on, we have the Omen ult. So Omen was over here and is now all the way over here. And this is the thing about the Omen ult, right? Breeze is actually probably the best map for it, because the map is big enough where the space, he can afford to ult here, and I'm pretty sure this is probably out of the range of anyone hearing it. But even so, if you just revealed someone right here and you're this Fade, you're going to be focused on this chamber, right? So what's going to happen is the Fade is going to get preoccupied with the chamber, and Som's just going to swing out and find a very free kill there as well. So we get some good use out of the Omen ult as well. Here it goes. You can see the preoccupation right there, and Som's just able to get that kill and then flash down here as well. And then he puts down this smoke. This is quite a common smoke that Som used, or in this kind of general vicinity. That kind of just, again, it's what I would call somewhat of a survival smoke, right? Just something to play around on the site and just, create some sort of confusion and chaos. But in this instance, it doesn't work out for him, because he's going to walk into the smoke and Rossi is just waiting for him. And so we get that kill, but Tex is able to clean up on those final two. And so again, we see good use of the Omen ult, and let's be real, the Omen ult, not generally one of the best in the game, but on Breeze, because the map is so big, it probably finds more value on this map than it actually does on any other. But now let's come to the attacking side, because that is where I think that the Omen flourished even more. And we'll start with round number 15. And so what we're going to get is a little B split here from the side of NRG, and they start with the Sova dot towards the top of mid, and then they do this Omen smoke towards Nest, right? Helpful that you don't need to do all those Viper lineups anymore when you're playing the Omen, and they get the Sky snuck into this position. And the timing of this is all really nice, because as soon as they put down this Viper wall, out goes a Sky flash, and in goes an Omen smoke here, and they basically create this little corridor of death, essentially. And I'm not sure if this Sky flash sees nothing, does the Omen flash then? I don't quite know. Whilst that's going on, we've got a drone coming from the Sova as well, and so in goes the Sky. It did hit the flash, you know, so they know that someone is in this little corridor here, and you have to think, likelihood is there's no way they're going to cross across your Viper wall, because they don't know what's over here, right? So there's no way they're coming this way, they're only going to go back. So that kind of is a really helpful thing overall, that you know where they're probably going to be. And so in goes the Omen flash off that Sky flash as well, which is timed with the Sky being able then to peek out, so they basically create this little corridor, and you know that they're basically just having to retreat. But Sabrosa is able to just about get out, but it's a really nice site take. We have the drone, you know, clearing the rest of the site there as well, and so they get in onto the site. Really nice from NRG. And then what's going to happen here is we're going to get Corey here being revealed by this trap, and so Tex is eventually going to find that kill, and we've got this dog coming into CT that's obviously going to find a ton of people. Here's this kill from Tex, really nice flick onto Corey there. We get to smoke off the archway again, and now they're just really going to mop up. They're just going to find the kills. They're just going to start spamming in towards the archway and finding these final kills. Really nice round from NRG overall, and yeah, flawless victory, and we saw good Omen use there as well. And now let's come to round 16, and this one's going to be a really cool round on the whole. TSM actually go for a bit of a B lean here, leaving just the chamber here, but we're going to go for a pretty fast A play. We're going to put down this Viper wall, which I'll call the mech wall, the Gambit wall, because they were the first team that I saw use this, and they used it to great effect. And I'm sure NRG, you know, have been watching some mech games here on Breeze, because some of the things that they do on Breeze are very strong, and I'll show you another round that kind of reminds me of mech as well a bit later on. But yeah, this is going to be a fast A split, right? We're going to go 3 down towards the hole here. We're going to go Sova towards A main. He's going to drone in from this way, like an A split this time rather than a B split. And so let's take a look at how it works, because yeah, we get this Viper wall in here, we get the Omen smoke at the deeper end of it, which is handy as well. Just another good use of the Omen. They're sending the Sova dot close, and then the Sova is going to drone as we're opening the door and getting ready to get in. And what we've also done is sent in this Omen smoke on top of the yellow crate here, and this is very reminiscent of a jet, right? Where a jet would normally smoke and dash onto the top of the box, but the Omen can basically do the same thing with a smoke and a teleport on top of the box. So it's very similar, almost swapping them for a jet. But whilst that's also going on, we're going to get a Sky Flash through our own Viper wall, essentially, and that is going to blind this chamber. And that explains what happens next, because I was confused for a while, but I figured it out, that this blinds the chamber, because our Omen is going to teleport in. There goes that Sky Flash, and so the chamber teleports over here, okay? And that is why he doesn't hear the Omen teleport, and I would guess why he doesn't hear the Omen drop, because it seems like Seven is just completely caught unaware, and I was like, can't he hear the drop? But I think it's because the noise of his teleportation was probably still happening, and that is why, you know, Som is able to get this free kill. He just sees him standing there. And so they get on into the site. Really nice take overall. So Broser is able to find Tex there, but it's still going to go their way. They're able to smoke off Hull once Som gets this smoke back, and then Ethan is going to go play inside of it. And yeah, they just lock it down, and eventually we're going to end up with a save here as Ethan goes into the smoke and he's able to find Corey. He then ults, letting them know where everyone is, and that obviously isn't great. They see the two of them on backside. They actually send an Omen flash towards them as well, but then we just get this last kill from EU because the other two are going to save. He fumbles it a bit, but he is able to find the kill, and then the last two players are just going to save. But yeah, another really nice A take there, and this time you see how the Omen was kind of, you know, becoming that duelist. I did that video on kind of where the different agents are in terms of their design, and I said that Omen, you know, he's kind of a duelist initiator controller hybrid, and we saw kind of the duelist-esque version of Omen right there. And now let's come to round 20, which is a round that I absolutely love, and it's going to be a deep fake round where NRG, what they're going to try and do is they're going to make it look like they're coming through the mid doors and through there, but actually they're going to go up here towards the B site instead. Okay, I love these kind of rounds. I've seen NRG run a similar sort of one on Fracture, and I think that they work really, really well. And so let's take a look at exactly what they do. And I'm actually going to start 7 seconds before the round starts, because I want you to watch the reaction of these TSM players to when this Viper puts down this wall, right? The Viper puts in this wall, and I don't know if TSM, we're going to do an A stack anyway, but very much look at all the players just flood across this A site. And then what we're going to get is we're going to get Omen smoking mid so that, no one here could see them cross, because they're not crossing. We're going to get a Silver Dart in here. We're going to get Sky Flash towards the early mid doors, right? And then we're going to get an Omen smoke back towards the kind of nest tower area over here. The Silver Dart comes in, and but the second Sky Flash actually, comes out of this smoke because they want to actually come back up here, right? And then we're actually going to get an Omen flash in there as well, and then eventually a Silver Dart as we're going up here. Now you can see that they are going to destroy the chamber trap. In comes this Silver Dart at the same time, but yeah, we're really sprinting up here now, right? And what's going to happen actually is the Jet is just going to catch them a bit, fire some bullets and dash away. They missed the shot, I guess, and in we go, right? And they managed to find the first kill there on 7, and then they're just way ahead of where the defenders are expecting to be. Som gets that kill, and then after the ping stop of the Silver Dart, he's able to get into a different position, teleporting again. So really nice play from Som, and so he's able to find another kill. He does end up dying to Corey, but the trade comes in at the same time, and this is just a really nice round. We saw that the fake really worked, and we end up with GMD just left on his own with a Spectre here. And as we run this forward a bit quicker, he eventually will be found as well by the Sova and die at the same time. But now we're actually going to look at that round again, but do it on Valorant this time, because I was just thinking about this round so much yesterday when I first watched it, because I thought it was a really well run round, but there were times that it could have gone wrong, right? Like for instance, Ethan just had to win this kind of fight. They probably would have traded it, but that easily could have been a kill for the chamber. Maybe even in some instances the chamber, pops off, he gets 2 kills, right? There was an instance where the Jet, where they're crossing over here, easily could have found a kill before dashing away as well. We could have ended up in a situation where this round looked very different for NRG and didn't go nearly as well. So I wanted to think about what exactly could they change in this round to potentially, help them out here. And one thing that I personally think, and a key question when we're trying to run these kind of deep fake rounds, is how much utility do you actually need to use to sell that fake, right? Because as we can see here, this is all the utility they use, right? So the Silver Dart's in here, then the Silver comes up here and drones. We got an Omen flash, we got this first Sky Flash in here, we got the Viper wall, of course, we have this Omen smoke and this Omen smoke, and really all of that is selling that it's an A fake, right? All of that utility that I just mentioned is an A fake, and essentially the only thing we had to go to B was this Sky Flash. This was all we used, was just this one Sky Flash in here to actually go onto the B side, and that meant that we had to win this duel here. We had to hope that the Jet didn't hit a shot there, which is a bit risky, and so that's overall not really what we want. So I've been thinking about, okay, how many layers can we strip away from this and it still seem like a fake? Well, we can still do a lot of it and it's fine. I do wonder about this Omen smoke. Do we actually need this smoke towards nest, right? Because you have to think this is all happening so fast for your opponents that they're not going to notice little things like an Omen smoke not being here towards the back of tower, sorry. They're not going to notice those kind of things. So I don't think you actually need it. And that gives us an Omen smoke to play with, that maybe we'll use towards the back arches when we actually come on to this B site. So that's one bit of utility that we've gained, right? And we can use most of it still the same, but a big part for me was Sova as well, right? Do we actually need the Sova here? And I know that they wanted this Sova thing to look the exact same as it was for that other round 16 that we watched beforehand. This is exactly what the Sova did. He did this dart here, came up here, took the orb and droned from here. The thing is, that drone was way late. By the time the Sova actually got to here and did this drone after getting the orb, we were already up here and TSM were already here. The fake had gone at that point. TSM were well aware by that point what was going on, and we were already, coming towards the B site. So to me, this drone, when we're running this fake, the timing is just off. We don't need to do that, even if it looks the same. And as I said, people won't notice these small details because everything's happening so fast. So to me, the Sova actually would be better off used in a different way, because you can stand the Sova here, and I actually went into the game and did this myself. You can do a Sova dart here that bounces just inside the mid doors, does another bounce there and lands somewhere around here, right? It's pretty simple dart to do actually. And the thing is, TSM won't know if you've missed a lineup or whatever. They won't understand what's going on with this dart. So you can have a dart here, right? that actually kind of helps you out if you did want to do this anyway, because it does clear this kind of close area that the Sky Flash is doing as well. And, you know, this will just look like an A dot. The dot is still there on A. So to TSM, it's dot on A, we got the Viper Wall on A, we got Sky Flash on A, and there's an Omen Smoke in mid that's saying we're going to A. You know, it still looks like an A here. Everything about that is still screaming A. The exact position of the Sova dot doesn't really matter, because we're not using it anyway, right? We're going to B. But with the Sova being here, by the time that these three players have actually, you know, pushed up through mid, the Sova will probably have time to get to about here and actually drone in from this B position here and drone in onto the B site. And that will be super helpful for these players when they actually start pushing in onto the site, because it's going to clear probably all of the front site. And that means that when these players come in, they don't have to worry about the left-hand side, right? Whereas when they did come in here, there could have been people all the way over here. They could have been anywhere on this B site, right? They didn't have a clue, and they just happened to have won the fight. But with this Sova drone, we're creating pressure from the B main position here. Also might help with the chamber as well come in. You know, the chamber can just follow the drone if they want as well. And now we're creating, you know, this person can't live, right? This person max gets one and definitely will be traded out, and most likely is going to be panicking with the Sova drone with all this, with people running at them when they thought that they were actually going to be, you know, doing a retake. So that is one thing that I personally would like to see. Another thing as well off the start of this round is, of course, we had the problem with the Jet when the Jet got here. I think another thing, because NRG didn't use the Viper Orb until they actually got in onto the site and just threw it down here on elbow once the spike had already gone down. Again, we can learn a Viper lineup from down here that comes all the way into Nest there. And again, this is a very common position for a Viper Orb. Anyone actually sitting in Nest isn't going to think twice about it. They're not going to think anything of it. Viper is a very common lurk agent. Viper is a very common orb for here in Nest anyway, so they're not going to think, oh, this means that they're definitely going B. It's just a Viper orb in Nest. It happens all the time. But again, it would help. Once we've popped this Sky Flash and we're actually running up here, you know, this Viper orb will save us from anyone actually being here, you know, as we make this cross across to this B site. So these are just some like small things that I think NRG can think about, in that I don't think that they needed to use as much utility as they actually did to sell this fake. That there's enough already there. You know, a couple bits of utility will be enough. And I mean, we saw TSM just off the Viper Wall alone started to rotate to A on their own. I think you don't need to sell it as much as you can, and I think there is just slightly better things that you can do here to try and help with what you're actually doing, and that the fake doesn't need to be sold quite as hard. On the whole though, I love it, NRG. I'm not criticizing anyone on NRG for this. I just think that, you know, these are some little things that, you know, could maybe be improved considering how that round went. But now let's quickly finish off with round number 24, because we're going to see some more really cool Omen play here. It starts off with this, so we've got, you know, some nice mid control here from the side of NRG. They're going to skydog in towards B, and at this point, you know, they're kind of flexible in terms of where they want to go, right? The spike is here in mid. They could really go to either site, but what's going to happen is we're actually going to lose the first kill here on Tex there. He's going to get caught out by 7. But now watch Som, because he's going to use this Omen Smoke here and teleport into Nest. We got the Skydog coming into B, and actually they're gonna go and make an A play, right? And this is just super cool. Again, really cool use of the Omen here to smoke off Nest, actually teleport into it. Really nice on the whole. And here's the thing. They're going to start making some presence towards A, right? The Viper and Sova come over here. The Sky starts coming towards short as well. They're going to put up the normal Viper wall on A. They're going to send in a Sova dart as well. And obviously this kind of bit of presence on A is, you know, time for the Sova to come across. But Som just waits and he finds that kill right there. And now these players on this site, by the way, are absolutely screwed, because you've got a 3-way, you know, site hit coming. And we're going to see them have that problem, because initially the Viper, I think here on the side of TSM, we'll see, you know, tries to push through, right? So Bros is thinking, well, they're coming in from behind and probably mid as well, so, you know, tries to get a bit aggressive towards cave, finds that there's people there and has to run away. But then they actually fight this and they do find the kill onto Ethan, but you can see that they're thinking about Som, who just actually sent a flash in from behind here, and you can see that actually both players are looking towards him, right? They're both looking towards him, but that's when the pinch comes in from the other side and they're able to find these 2 kills. And as I said, these players on the site were absolutely screwed because they had nowhere to go. They were being flanked from all angles. We get the Viper's pit down as well, and we're going to get the site plant there. And again, this was all done off the back of the Omen, who I think, you know, did prove pretty good. Actually, 7 manages to find Som there, even though he just pulled out his rifle. Now, this decision from Hazed here, because he's going to actually go back and play some lineups rather than inside the Viper's pit. I'm not sure that's the best decision, because he kind of leaves the EU in a bit of a sticky situation, who sees both people there, and now the Viper ult goes down, and, you know, you know, he has no help from Hayes at this point, who's, you know, off nowhere doing lineups that do come in just about, and EU is able to find those kills. But, you know, I think in that situation, personally, I'd rather say to Hayes, you know, let's play with the team and whatnot. But overall, it was a really nice round from NRG, and they did get very good value out of this Omen.